Good morning, Millennial Morticians. Happy Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for joining me for another incredible episode of this amazing podcast. First and foremost, I want to say to all the people in Virginia, my local home state, please be safe during this week. We're projected to have a really bad snowstorm on Wednesday, so please be prepared. Get your assault ready and make sure you guys are safe wherever you are traveling around the state of Virginia. The title of today's incredible episode is A Bold Step Forward. A Bold Step Forward. The title of this week's episode came out of the fact that my dad is starting to change his lifestyle, change his diet, go to the gym, and be proactive in his life and in the things that he's doing. And to me, that really truly resonated with me, and it resonated with me in ways that are deeper than just the physical sense, but in the way we are as people. And I think with the way the world is going, more and more people are nervous about making that bold step forward. I had a chance to be walking around the grocery store one day and ran into someone, and they asked me what I do because I was, dressed up in my suit and whatnot. And I told them, and a lot of us in this industry, we always hear this a lot. It's a common answer people say, and I want us to really start digging deeper with people and really trying to figure out. Is it the fact that they're just scared to make a bold step forward and really get into this industry and really dive deep? But their answer was, I always wanted to get into that. I always wanted to get into that. And I'm thinking in my head, well, trust and believe me, if you saw where I was started at and where I was in high school and how my life progressed, you would be like, I don't think I can do it either. I know when I first started this, I didn't think I can do it. Not because the job was hard and not because it wasn't my calling, just because the schooling is a challenge. And I wanted to tell that person, in my head, I was telling that person, just take a bold step forward. Just do it. I mean, why not? You have the time, you have the place, you're in the right spot to just do it. Just be who you are, do what you do. And as I further talked with them and kind of broke down and got them to that answer, a smile came across their face because truly it means something to people when you can show them that the wall they're trying to get over isn't as tall as they think it is. And so just by talking to the person, easing them in, relaxing them, which is what we should be doing with all of our families when they walk into our doors, because like I tell you guys all the time, people are never excited to see us. They're never happy. A lot of people are uncomfortable with being there. Some people even scared to shake your hand. Some people scared to touch us. It's just a stigma around what we do and who we are. And so a bold foot has to be taken at a certain point in someone's life. You don't want to be, I definitely don't want to be one of those people who would have said, I wish, I wish I would have. I want to be the person that said, I did, I conquered, I did, I conquered, I did, I conquered. And we need to be okay with having a track record of winning and in being successful in the things that we want to do in our lives and in our mission statement as people for who we are. But a lot of things that are blocking us from making that big step is the fact that we oftentimes we're quick to make little steps to, to reach our bigger goals rather than just taking one big step and halfway getting to that goal. And not to say there's anything wrong with little steps, but we make little steps because we're scared and we're intimidated by what's ahead. As I progress through college, as I get further in my career, deeper into whatever I'm learning, whatever I'm doing, it's getting harder, but I'm moving faster. I'm going to say that again because that was good for somebody out there. It's getting harder, but I'm moving faster. I'm moving at a better pace than I was when I first started. When I first started, I was moving at the same pace, at the correct pace as the curriculum, but I wasn't as confident. I didn't have those college people around me quite yet in my corner to cheer me on and say, hey, you can do this, strive to be your best. Now I have a community of people around me, from educators to deans to the presidents of college to the associations I'm a part of. And they come together as a unit to help support me and get me to that next chapter, that next step in my life and what I'm trying to accomplish and what I'm trying to do. And I say that to say, even though it's harder where I'm at now, as it's supposed to get, I'm making more progress than I ever could have imagined that I would, because I'm trying to actually stay consistent and reach my goals at an appropriate time, understanding that I don't have forever to do everything I want to do. And a false narrative that I feel that the schools try to teach people and try to tell people is that you have forever, you have time, you have time, you have time. And we all want to believe we have all that time. We all want to think we have all that time. But that's not the true reality. That's not the true nature of who we are and what we do. The reality of it is there is a cutoff date and there is a cutoff time. And a part of moving, a part of getting your body, your life in line to reach your goals is you have to exercise. You have to put yourself to work. You have to do what my dad's doing. You have to stay consistent with it. And some days are harder than others, but you realize that the bigger picture is you want to reach this goal, whatever it is. And so what we have to start doing, the way you position yourself to start making those bigger steps is you exercise your muscles. You go to these conferences, you go to these conventions, you call these funeral homes, you call your competition, you ask them what works for them, and you tell them what's working for you. And I find that in this industry, we are scared to call one another, talk to one another, connect with one another, share ideas with one another, because we're scared that that person is going to rip our business out of our hands. And that's not the case. Let me explain something to you. What makes us special, what attracts people to us, is what's on our life and the covering we have over us to be able to do the things we do and make the leaps we make. And nobody can take that away from you. You can have the same exact recipe as somebody else in the business doing the same thing that you're doing, but you have something different about you. There's a special covering over you and over your life. And it's causing you to get more traction and more business and have more loyal customers because it's just something about you. And that's what I want you guys to know out there in the Millennial Mortician world and in the podcasting world, that there's just something about you that makes you so special, that makes you so unique. And people are attracted to that. And you're able to make bigger leaps and bounds when people find that you are easy to connect with, you are friendly, you're yourself, you're honest, and you have integrity in the things you do. And it's not so much the fact that we don't know what to do. It's just some of us, we don't know how to do it. And that's why you have to be bold enough to ask the tough questions and put your best foot forward and make that big move, make that big shake. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take in life. So you have to be prepared to take the big shots. Get behind the 3-point line and shoot the ball. Don't ever think that because there's other people in your court in life some of them trying to block you, some of them trying to play with you, that you're incapable of doing something. Because we don't believe that. You're capable of doing anything you put your mind to. Anything that you have on your heart, anything that you have in your mind, you're able to do it with the right people around you. And so I'm encouraging you all this week, let's go to the gym and let's exercise and let's make these big moves. Let's read more. One thing I'm trying to work on personally, I want to read more books on funeral services, on the funeral industry. I want to go back deeper into the history of funeral service. How did things become the way they are? How are they known today? How did we get to this point? How did our prices get to this point? Why are people switching away to more modern, streamlined funeral service? How did our industry become so industrialized? All the things I ask myself every day, questions I ask every day, because I have a thirst for knowledge and understanding of why we are the way we are, why we do the way we do, why do we buy the way we buy. And with that same information, how can I lead the correct way? There's people out there today that still think that the way we did funeral services 30 years ago was the correct way. And that was a perfect example right there. I just received a funeral call, and I didn't take it. I probably should have. But that's just an example of the nature of the business. You're going to get calls every day. That came out of nowhere. And so how can we take what we know, who we are, and make those big steps? There might be interruptions like that one, but how do we make our lives in a way where even if interruptions do come up, how do we still flow freely? How can we still maneuver our way around different parts of life and going through the challenges of life? And like you just saw, unexpected things do happen. But do you have the agility and the mobility to really overcome those things? Help the next person out. Be the best version of yourself that you can be. Be the brightest version of yourself that you can be. It's hard out here, but I know that this podcast, the people watching it and the people connected to it are going to do some incredible things this week. So make a big move, make a big, bold move forward in your life. Exercise with your team. Talk it out. I'm your host, Jaden Fowlkes. This is the Millennial Mortician podcast. Thank you so much for joining me for another incredible episode. Stay blessed. And I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Have a good one, guys.